Welcome back to SwissWatchExpo, watch lovers. This week we are taking a look at three of my favorite Patek Philippe vintage models that we have. You'll want to stick around for this. These are some rare finds. Welcome back to SwissWatchExpo. This is Angel, and this week we're taking a look at three very special models from Patek Philippe. So this week we're looking at three vintage models from the historical Patek collection, and they are all gentlemen's watches. However, they are on the smaller side, but I've seen a big resurgence in more classic styling for gentlemen's watches. Of course, there'll always be a market for big, bulky, substantial pieces, but these watches came out at a time when it was really focused on watchmaking and craftsmanship. So let's get right into it. So first up on our list is the 2468, the Hourglass as it's called. And with this model, I absolutely love it because there weren't that many of them made. There was a very short production period of about 6 years or so in the late 40s, early 50s. And even more rare to find are yellow case versions. They did them in the yellow gold, the rose gold, and the platinum, but very, very short period of time. And I just love the way that this case, when you look at it head on, you don't really see the dimension of the shape. And then you turn it to the side and you'll see that absolutely gorgeous acrylic crystal that has a beautiful curve to it, almost like a cabochon style watch crystal on this one. Then, of course, you'll have the beautiful Calatrava cross here on the crown and a really gorgeous tapered case. Very easy to read, very simple, very classic. The case is going to be 28 millimeters across and 39 millimeters top to bottom. So it really lends itself to a very streamlined look. And I think ladies and gentlemen would be able to wear this. But I think the biggest thing for me is how it looks head on versus from the side. You really get some gorgeous dimension and true Patek Philippe watchmaking. And again, very, very challenging to find one in this condition. So next up, we'll be looking at this Patek Philippe 1450, the top hat. And when you look at the watch, of course, you can see immediately why it has that moniker. You'll look at the top and bottom of the lugs, and they appear to be a hat on top of the watch. Again, another model that was created in the late 40s, early 50s, done in the yellow gold, rose gold, and platinum. But again, the styling behind this is absolutely phenomenal. I love how they've tucked the lugs underneath, so they call that hooded lugs, and a gorgeous representation of this watch. Now, I've seen a few of these out on the market, but not many. And one thing I've noticed about the one we have here at SwissWatchExpo is that it does still have a very prominent Calatrava cross on the crown. And a lot of the ones I've seen, they don't have any type of insignia there. So whether that is maybe a service crown or an aftermarket crown, the one that we have here is true to its original standard. And it does have a beautiful texture to it. It still has some depth and some detail on it. And then again, another curved crystal, but the dial is just a little cleaner. I really love the doffing hands on this model, and then the small seconds at the 6. It really lends itself to a very elegant watch. Now, this one really lends itself to being worn both casually, and if you wanted to maybe put a darker strap on here, you could dress it up a little bit. This is going to be a 25 by 38 millimeter case on this Patek Philippe. And then last, let's get into one of my favorites. And this has been my favorite for quite some time. And you really don't see a lot of examples as good as this one. This is your Patek Philippe Disco Volante. And when you hear those terms, you kind of think like, what name is that? And Disco Volante means flying saucer or flying disc. And around the time that this watch was created, again, late 40s, early 50s, there was a big resurgence of people really interested in UFOs and flying saucers and things of that nature. Alfa Romeo actually had a car by the same name If you hop on Google, you can take a look. It's an absolutely gorgeous car, and I've heard rumors that they were maybe going to relaunch that vehicle. But this watch, I think, is an absolutely gorgeous example of Patek Philippe watchmaking. This is the first model to to house an automatic movement from Patek Philippe. So a little later than Rolex, a couple decades after Rolex, but it was definitely worth the wait. This watch is going to have the 12-600 AT movement. And with that, you'll get some features like the rotor that's done in the gold is going to have the double PP insignia, which typically we don't see that until some of the more recent years when PP was hallmarked on the actual movement to show full manufacture there. And then another thing that I really love, again, we're back onto the crowns here, is the double PP insignia here on the crown. You rarely ever see that. I personally can't think of another Calatrava that has that PP on the crown. If you do know of one, please share down in the comments. We'd love to talk about it and maybe see if we have another for our collection here at SwissWatchExpo. And then another thing that I really love about this watch is the color of the dial, the patina, the way the Patek Philippe logo is located at the top, and the way it's written across the dial. The patina on this is gorgeous and even better in person. The crystal is domed, so it really gives you that flying saucer feel. And the lugs are tapered nicely. And again, just a really rare find for one of this condition with the gorgeous crown on the case by the 3 o'clock position. So 3 amazing models here at Swiss Watch Expo. Of course, we always have the best vintage pieces as well as current models, whether it's Patek Philippe or Vacheron Constantin or even Rolex. So give us a call here in the showroom. We'd be happy to dive into these watches a little deeper with you and get one added to your collection. Again, this is Angel here at Swiss Watch Expo, and we look forward to seeing you on next week's video.